I'm Laura Trump, coming to you from my home in New York. So long as Joe Biden hides in his basement, the American people can't learn the truth about his extremism, but he can't hide for long. Joining me is a Hollywood conservative, very rare these days, and the host of the Blunt Force Truth podcast, Chuck Woolery. Chuck, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Laura. It's great to be here. It's nice to be on your show and see you again.
Well, we know that the news media are doing everything they can, Chuck, to cover for Joe Biden's weaknesses. I mean, they're propping this guy up every way possible. But isn't it time he got out of his basement and finally faced the people of this country?
Well, the only reason he doesn't come out of his basement is because of the pandemic, quote unquote. I mean, he's afraid he's going to catch something, obviously. But we know that that's really not it. I mean, Joe Biden is not really, to put it in the old NBC terms, he is not ready for prime time. They know it, we know it, and we're just waiting. I mean, I'm waiting for the debates between President Trump and Joe Biden. It's going to be a massacre.
I know.
It'll be so much fun. But, the guy has no idea where he is. He doesn't even know he's in the basement, I don't think. He's just locked down there trying to make sense and can't even do that. It's embarrassing. I'm kind of embarrassed for him, even though obviously I'm not a Democrat, nor do I want them to win. But it's just humiliating for him and for his family. And it's like pretending someone is impaired and it's really obvious that they are, and you just kind of pretend that they're not so you don't offend them.
Right.
And, it's an odd situation we're in right now.
It is. I mean, I've heard some liken it to elder abuse to continue putting Joe Biden out there. But it is sad, and I noticed this all throughout the primary debates that the Democrats had. Something wasn't quite right with Joe Biden, and that should scare people enough, Chuck. I mean, that's enough of a reason not to choose this guy for your president. But Joe Biden supports increasing taxes, gutting the energy sector, and destroying jobs with bad trade deals. I mean, so when you start talking about his policies, I think the question a lot of people ask is, what is there to actually like about this guy?
Well, there's nothing to like about him anymore there is to like, and I'm very sorry. I'm quite prejudiced, but I just don't like the Democrat Party today. I'm not crazy about them in the past because I know their past, but I really am. I'm literally frightened that the Democrat Party has obviously moved, and I think it's because of President Trump. I really do. The hatred for him has literally had them lift their skirt and show us who they are. And they are Marxist, socialists, and there's no question about it. The kids who are these millennials who are in all these giant gatherings they've been carefully taught over probably the last 10 or 15 years, and they have been indoctrinated into Marxism, and I'm not even sure a lot of them know what it is or what the perils of Marxism are. I don't think they know who Stalin is and his history. It's just really odd to watch this happen. I don't think the American people will stand for it, although the media has this giant megaphone that they're talking to everybody through and get their attention. I still don't believe. President Trump has really called them fake media and all this, and I think that's taken hold. I think it's gotten traction because most people today, unless I'm just talking to, my fellow compatriots, I think understand that the media has been misleading them, misinforming them for at least months, if not years.
Yeah, I mean, well, that is why the trust in the media right now is basically at an all-time low. And by the way, I give President Trump the credit for that as well. If he had not become our president, I think about all of the things that we wouldn't have found out. People wouldn't have realized quite how bad it is out there with the mainstream media, quite how dishonest they are.
And academia as well.
Yes. And by the way, that is a very, very scary situation, what is happening in our schools all across this country. And to your point, what you just said, how our kids are being taught. I have 2 young kids. I think about, well, what are they going to learn? Are they actually, Chuck, going to learn real American history, or will it be some fluffy version of what actually happened? Everybody knows you need history so you don't repeat the same mistakes. And good, bad, or indifferent, our country wouldn't be the America we have today, the great country, then the greatest country in the world, by the way, without the mistakes we made in the past. So people trying to rewrite history and fluff it up and do this, it's really frightening to see what is happening. But I think you're right. I think a lot of people are seeing it for what it is. And they see things, they see the hypocrisy out there, by the way, because we know the Democrats love lockdowns. They also love the mass protests. Yeah, well, of course.
It benefits them. I mean, the mass protests, it's okay to go protest by the thousands, butt to butt and belly to belly and rubbing each other and everything else, but you can't go to a Trump rally because it's too dangerous.
No, we couldn't do that.
You got to be in a cocoon. You just can't do that. It's dangerous to people. It's the hypocrisy is so thick, you can cut it with a knife.
They're going to try everything they can to suppress the economic recovery. They're doing everything they can to stop us from having Trump rallies. But the reality is the enthusiasm for this president and what they know is really about to happen, I think, on November 3rd in this country.
Well, you know
I think it scares the Democrats to death.
What I think they want is, I mean, Fauci came out and said, all right, there's going to be an NFL season. If one of these players gets COVID-19, then everybody shuts down. How are you going to have a huddle if you're 6 feet apart? I mean, how are you going to play that game? So he's warning against that. He's warning against baseball. My next thing is stay at home. You can't go vote. You got to do it by mail.
Yep. Right for voter fraud.
It's already started in California and other places like that, but it's going to be universal. They're going to be crying for this and swearing everybody's going to die if you go to the polling booths. And I'm going. I don't care. I have worn a mask one time since I've been here. I had to go to the hospital last week, and they made me put on a mask, and I went in and put it on and took it off the minute I walked out. I said, I'm not wearing these things. I'm sorry.
Look at you. I love it. Well, a lot of people agree with that.
I'm 79, so I'm definitely, in that demographic that's most vulnerable. I don't mean to be just thumbing my nose at this. I know it's serious, but I just don't believe.
Well, but Chuck,
my God, we've gotten bad information from the WHO, the WHO. They passed it on to the CDC. They passed it on to Fauci and Burke. And then your dad's not a doctor. I mean, President Trump is not a doctor. He can't make those calls. He's got to depend on the experts. And the experts have let us down over and over and over again to where people are now so far on the other side, they don't believe anything they say, which I'm not sure is a good thing.
It's frightening. Well, look, if we can all stand 6 feet apart in line to go in a grocery store, a Walmart, a Target, you better believe we can stand 6 feet apart, Chuck, and go in a voting booth and vote for the person of our choice on November 3rd. And I hope for everybody that is Donald Trump. But I want to say thank you for fighting for this country, Chuck. You're really amazing.
I love it. Thanks for having me on the show, Laura. I always enjoy talking to you. It's a lot of fun, and you're delightful. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. The more people know about Biden extremism, the more they realize he's bad for America. Get out of the basement, Joe. Let's go. That's the real news for today. If you'd like to get involved with Team Trump, go to DonaldJTrump.com or download the official Trump 2020 app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. I'm Lara Trump, coming to you from my home in New York. Thanks for joining us, everybody.